What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning, Revben and Cosmic Star Light EX. Actually, give me a second here. What's going on, guys? It's a busy Friday, and this is the first of 2 live streams for today, as I do have a live stream planned for right after this. So we're going to build up the Nachin, the Scopedog version of the Nachin here, and then I'll cut off the stream and kind of reset, and there probably won't be a whole lot of time in between. Then we'll kick off another stream, which I don't want to spoil the surprise, but there's going to be someone joining me, and if you're able to watch, there might be some stuff that you're gonna see that you might say, wow. So, okay. Good morning, David. How's it going? So, as you can see here, well, I'm gonna zoom in a bit closer because it's not like a very large model. As you may be able to see, you're gonna be starting off building the weapon first, because figured why not do it kind of backwards today. And let's see. 2 hours ago, Mecha Smile Impact 2025 happened, and we got a heads up on a lot of new kits like the Motoroid, Denkoga and Denkoga Nova, and also the DX Scale Ikaruga and Kasasagi, which can combine. Yeah, I don't know anything about any of that. I mean, like I recognize some of the names, but I don't really know too much about that stuff, I'm sorry to say. What are your thoughts on Army Painter warp paints? I don't know them. I've never used any Army Painter stuff, so I don't know. Ooh. So anyway, yeah, this is the Scopedog version of the Nachin. There is also a purple version of this kit if you wanted to build it for, I think it's like the Melchia's Army version. So unfortunately, all we really have for weapons is just the one weapon here, and even the purple version also only just has the one weapon, but it's got the main like rifle, as you would expect, along with the second whatever it would be called. What would that be called? It's not a magazine. Anyway, the ammo box for that. Got our little stand here, which is the same stand as always, and hand parts for holding the rifle. So I'm going to go ahead and put this actually on here right away. We have weapon holding hand parts for both the left and the right side, but we really kind of only need it for the right side for this kit as it is. But let's see. I'm just gonna put this right here for now. And like I said, since we're going kind of backwards, let's actually just build the arms here next. So it should be a pretty quick build here for this one. There is quite a number of parts, especially in the body. Just like a lot of little parts, especially for like the mechanics of the hatches being able to open and stuff on it. But still, it's a fairly quick build for these Kotobukiya Nachin kits. I guess I didn't put anywhere in the description of this video that it's a Kotobukiya release, but I guess that's pretty simple to figure out. How are you guys all doing today? Starboard side? Huh? I nearly finished building and painting the MGX unicorn, but still can't decide should I display it with 3 shield formation or not yet. That's a kit that comes with a lot of tough decisions because it's a big expensive kit and there's a number of different ways that you can display it, and so I understand that dilemma, not being too sure which way you might want to display the kit. Yeah, so you can go unicorn mode, destroy mode. Yeah, you can. There's different options as far as like which weapons. Like, fortunately, it comes with a good number of weapon options. So it's kind of a lot of important choices to make. Howdy. I decided on what HG unicorn to buy and put together with the MGX. I'm putting an HG together with a starboard right side of the ship. Or yeah, I mean, like, I know what starboard is. I just didn't know what was the relevance of saying starboard. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe was I talking about something about a ship or something? I don't think so. I took a boating class before. I mean, aside from it just being kind of common knowledge, and I think I would know that either way. But I did take a boating safety course at one point in my younger life, just because my family used to own when I say, like, I was gonna say like a small boat, but it's not like a dinghy or anything like that small, but not like a yacht or anything like that either by any means. A smallish boat. When I was, how old was I at the time? That would have been around middle school, early high school, I guess, maybe around that time. Fingers are a little bit different. Like, the first finger is different from the second and third. So kind of, but fortunately the parts are made in a way, well, yeah, fortunately those parts are made in a way that, like, you can't mix them up. They won't fit if you try to put them on the wrong way. But the unfortunate thing is that all the fingers all have seam lines on them. They're all just made up of two halves that just go together. Not my favorite aspect of this kit's design, but it is what it is. It's still a very cool kit at the end of the day. So basically, this arm, I'll zoom in a bit closer because it's kind of small what we're working on. This is just like the arm and hand of the regular kit, and basically what we're adding to this part of the arm to make it the Scopedog version is here on the hard point, which exists on just like the regular version of the kit, just for you to be able to add whatever onto there. We're going to add this armor piece here for like that backing part for the back of the hand, the Scopedog, and then obviously the shoulder has the Scopedog's round shoulder on there, like so. All right. Only Bandai would release the MGX Banshee, since I like the Banshee more than the Unicorn. I mean, yeah, if I had to choose one, I mean, it's a tough choice, but the Banshee is also very cool. It would make a lot of sense to also release a Banshee kit, I agree. It is kind of a mystery as to why they've not done that yet. You'd think that at the very least it would be like a Gundam base exclusive or something, because it seems like a very easy kit to produce. They only need to make basically one new mold for the Banshee parts, especially if it's just, well, I mean, I guess it depends on which version or whatever, but they could just go the same route they did for like the Banshee Verka, where all it really is just the different parts for the head and the collar, and they don't release any of the armed armor, anything to go along with it. That could work. It would be very simple, and I think people would still buy it. But obviously, I think people might prefer if it did have some of the armed armor, whether it be the Banshee Norn variation with the DE shield, and what's the XC is the armor on the backpack parts. I think that's right. Armed armor XC, is that right? Sounds I think that's correct. Anyway. I think it's just the sound of the air conditioner, but it sounds like there's like a bug in the vent or something like that. Hope that's not the case. All right. I think I can get all this together like this. What overhead camera do you use for the stream? So this one, it's a Alpha 6400 Sony. Actually, one that predates me being here as a camera that Adam had here at USA Gundam Store for other stuff. But I already had my camera for doing like my regular YouTube videos. So I'm using this camera for streaming. Let's see. Sounded like there was a cricket in the vents during my last exam. Oof. During an exam, that's not what you want. Let's see, that one and this one, I guess, here. The last night at home, I started working on a kit, and it was the old Macross Regalt kit from Bandai. And man, it is a rough kit. I expected it was gonna that it was gonna take a bit more work, kind of like a regular kind of Machine Krieger type of kit, where you'd have to there'd be like a lot of seam lines to remove, just basically like seams on all the parts, which is not that big of a deal. Like I said, sort of comparable to something from the Machine Krieger. But once I started working on it, I found out that not only are there a lot of seams on everything, but also it's just like the seams don't even match up well at all. And like some of them, just like the mold lines just kind of around the edges of some of the parts and stuff are like really bad. So it's going to be a rough kit, rougher than I expected, unfortunately. So not going to be at all a quick build on that kit. You guys won't see that appearing here on the channel probably for a little while, but I did start working on it anyway. It's a kit that I've had for ages. And there was one person like a few years ago, I think they finally gave up, but there was one person, because like I had it in the background of my videos, like in my setup in Korea, you could like see it on the shelf. There was one person that would comment like almost every video, because like you could see in the background, so they'd comment, when are you going to build the Regalt, or something along those lines. There was someone that really wanted me to build that kit. And so that person hopefully will finally be happy that I'm building it. But man, it is not going to be an easy one to build. Probably one of the most challenging kits that I ever built, just for the fact of like the amount of work that it takes. I mean, just to get it to look decent, because like I said, just like nothing's lining up. Where's this going here? Just seams on everything, but I mean, it's just it's taking a good amount of work. So nothing about that is necessarily like challenging. It's just a lot of work, just a lot of time. Have Adam listing his top 10 kits he ever built. I mean, maybe. Adam, these days, as you guys know, if you tune into our live streams, you guys know that he doesn't have a whole lot of opportunity to build much of anything these days. Kind of very few and far between. So most of his build experience is a bit in the past, and he may not. I mean, if it was me, I don't know if I would be able to recall enough of my building experience to be able to say like which one to make any kind of like list. Like these were the top 10 best or worst or whatever kind of kits I ever built. I don't know. You might be able to like. You might have a recollection of one or two that were particularly rough or something, or good. Oof. Hmm? Oh. The little front ankle armor here is very adorable, just because of how it's shrunken down from like the normal like Scopedog design. Instead, we just get this little teeny tiny shrunken down version to match the Nacchin's little feet, little cat feet that it has. Where's that bar? I think that actually is in the wrong spot. That goes on the chest. I don't know why I have that here, but all right. That goes there. And which side's which? Okay, these are not depending on the side, but just the angle. They're supposed to go like that. So there's our leg. And yeah, we have this additional part at the knee for like obviously the Scopedog's knee with the little bar there. And then this little bit of added armor there on top of the ankle. Very cute. It's Friday the 13th. Oh, that's true, isn't it? That's why I feel kind of like weird. Brenda has dozens lines of model kits, not just Gunpla these days. Yeah, that's true. Any plan on doing a Grunts top pick video? That'd be fun. I've thought about that many times. It's been suggested a lot. So I've certainly thought about it. But I feel like it would be very challenging just to basically come up with a list of kits that you're going to be including in that. So like if you're going to do like favorite Grunt kits like that, because are you including like all scales and grades? So do you just do like only high grades or only master grades? I guess you could include both. And then there's some kits that are just some designs that I guess, I mean, I could just like refer to the Wikipedia page to determine, whether it's a Grunt or not. But there's some like the Jesta, for example. Do you consider that a Grunt or not? I don't know for sure. I think people might have different opinions on that, maybe. I don't know, but I've thought about it, and I just thought like it's a interesting premise for a video. I just think that it might be kind of difficult like to actually do like in practice. So that's why I've not done it. Just HE is enough. Yeah, I think there's many more options in HG, so I mean it would make sense to like just keep it as HG only. I'll think about that anyway, George. MG doesn't release Grunts anymore, I guess, because then also there's just a lot of lines. I mean, you have, I guess there's not really too many Grunts in like the Build Fighters line, or although there are some, I suppose. But you have like grunts from the seed line, the age line, obviously HGUC, and just kind of everything else. So it's a lot of different lines to pull suits from, and then you're talking about like choosing favorites from a list of, I don't know, ultimately how many you would come up with if you gather all the grunt HG suits from all the different lines. Probably 40, I don't know, kits. And then I guess if you're just trying to come up with like a top 10, I mean, that's easy enough, I suppose. So I don't know, maybe it's not as difficult as I'm thinking it might be, and I will definitely look into that. I have a different idea, something sort of like similar, sort of like along those lines that I'm planning on working later today. But maybe I'll work on a video like that, like for next week, George. That would be a good idea. So I'll work on it. All right, there's our legs done, and that means we just have the body, because basically that's it. We have some like other extra parts and stuff here. I need a little. We'll go with this one. HG Grimoire is a hidden gem. Yeah, have I built that kit? I think that I did. Did I build that kit? Either built the regular Grimoire or the red beret. Suddenly now I kind of don't remember which one I built or not. But I have to go back and look. But yeah, I do know, I mean, whichever one I built or not, I do know that, yeah, it is pretty highly regarded, especially among that line, the Reconquista and G line, which they're just kind of line where generally the kits aren't great. But there is a lot of kind of, I don't want to say love for them, but I see like a lot of people these days wanting certain kits from that line to get reprinted. I think it's just because like there's some cool designs in the line, and I think at the time it was just really unpopular, so people just didn't get the kits at the time just because maybe they just weren't into the designs at the time, or like they just saw reviews of the kits and the reviews were generally not great, so they just, for whatever reason, didn't get the kits at the time, or just weren't into Gunpla at the time, because that's a few years ago now at this point. So for whatever reason that people didn't get the kits at the time, I do see definitely some sentiment these days for wanting some reprints of some of those kits. So yeah, here as you can see, these are the parts for the torso now. A lot more parts here. Kind of need to shift everything to the side. I kind of separated all like the larger parts up here at the top, just because there's a lot of small little parts for this section of the build. So just to be able to kind of see where everything is. But there's it's a lot more complex here in the torso compared to every other part of the kit. Here's the other part of this one. There. I grabbed a couple of them at the time. They were all right, but more for the designs. Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Like the designs are interesting, and I also thought that some of the designs were pretty cool. It was just a matter of the kits were unfortunately, like, you could tell that like the kit quality just was not good for the time, if that makes sense. I mean, that was like after Gundam Age and Gundam 00. 00? Yeah. Definitely after Gundam Age. Gundam Age kits, HG kits are generally like pretty dang good. It's kind of like I've talked about many times before as like sort of a bit of like a turning point where HG kits like really started to get good. Not that they were bad before, but they just were quite. We saw like quite a noticeable improvement. I feel like, yeah, the age kits were just really nice. And then after that, what else do we have in between? I mean, I guess I think there was maybe some other had build fighters started yet or not. Anyway, I'm kind of forgetting like the timeline. But anyway, where's that part? Hang on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, anyway, whatever the case, anyway, Reconquista G was after Age, and so like to go from, you know, how nice the Age kits were, and whatever else in between, I don't recall, but at the moment, but then yeah, to go to Reconquista G, where just like the seams were bad, the articulation was bad. I mean, just like in comparison. So that was kind of disappointing. And like just some of the designs and proportions, I mean, were just like not great like representations of the designs like as they appeared in the anime. They just weren't as nice as they definitely could have been. So it felt like that Bandai just kind of I don't know necessarily purposely or not, whatever, I don't know, but someone was just like, yeah, we're not really going to put much effort into this series, so we'll put out the kits, but they're going to be like very low effort releases. So it felt like that. Yeah, articulation, yeah. I mean, yeah. You enjoy my videos dubbed in Hindi? Nice. Your thoughts on YouTube's new feature, the auto dub feature? Yeah, people have told me that like they click onto my videos and it's like auto dubbed in whatever language. I don't know why. And like I've tried looking in the settings and to see if there's anything like I can change on my end. I don't think so. To make it so that it doesn't happen for people. I mean, all you have to do is then just change it if it starts playing like that. I get it's annoying, but I don't know what else I can do on my end to make it so that it doesn't do that. I figured that it would just be something like based on your region or language settings. So like if you are like in Mexico and you have like your language settings set to Spanish, then it might like auto dub a video in Spanish or something, like kind of might make sense, but it doesn't seem like that's the case from people that I've heard from letting me know about it. All right, so here's our base kind of inner frame, or as it were, for the body, so you can see like how the eye is there, and how this hatch is going to move and open there like that, and then this part here, or above the eyes, will extend out like that, and then open up. Pretty cool. I wish we had full cockpit detail on the inside. There is the other version of this kit, which I actually need to review and build. I'm a bit behind on my Nachin releases, so I need to, and a lot of other stuff too. But I need to just kind of catch up. I'm thinking maybe not like next week, but the week after, which is like the week before I am on vacation, that I might try to just like bust through like a bunch of kits, just getting like a bunch of kits built, because I have a lot of stuff kind of backed up at the moment. Sure. All right. Snap build rush, yeah, pretty much. Just get a bunch of stuff built, and then we'll be able to just kind of work through the reviews. So what would you use to scratch build something conical? Calder, yeah, there's a number of different ways. Oh, yeah, sorry, you have to get to a meeting. Well, if you can look back, if you got to run, just watch the playback on this video later. I'll talk about it. Just kind of, so to build like a conical shape, he means like a cone, like a spike shape, like you would see on like a Zaku's shoulder kind of thing. Yeah, there's a couple of different ways. It just kind of depends on the size that you need. So if you need something like larger, then what a lot of people will do is just use like plastic pipe of different sizes. So you need like a couple of different sizes that will fit inside of each other. So basically you have like one pipe size, and then put a smaller pipe size inside that, and then put like a smaller size inside that. Ideally with the smallest size being like a solid rod, so that there's no hole in the middle. And then you just kind of cut each segment to be, a little bit, anyway, you stagger them. So basically you have like 3 kind of, or however many it's going to take for whatever size you need, different rod sizes. And then you just basically file them down so that you don't have like the edges of the cut pipes that you have. Just file it down so that it would eventually just come to a point. And you can use putty on there too. Probably would be a good idea as like kind of a finishing stage too, is then just like put some putty on it and sand that down as well, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth and conical as you want. That said, if you need something like just kind of small, it's very easy to just do just with just a solid plastic rod. That said, another option is also just simply just using, if you need like one that's more curved or something, yeah, putty. I mean, just like you could just sculpt the thing out of just epoxy putty too, if you need it kind of a specific shape, like curved or something. Alternatively, if you wanted to build like one like the goofs, like larger curved spike on the shoulder, something like that, you could just cut flat plate pieces, or like use bread clips if you are in a country that uses bread clips. As when I made that video like talking about how to use bread clips as like essentially flat plate, some people let me know that like, well, they don't use bread clips in the country where they live. But if you are in a country that uses bread clips, you can, just use that if you just want cheap flat plate for that. Just stack flat plate to like the overall thickness that you would need for like the absolute like thickest part of the spike, and then just basically just carve it out from that. Just carve it down, sand it, putty it, sand it again, and just kind of to get your shape. So it's just kind of different like sculpting sort of techniques, ultimately, basically just kind of depending on the size you need, but not too difficult to do. Again, just depending on the size, it might take a little more time, a little more work, but yeah, should be pretty straightforward. But if that Calder, if you're watching this on the playback, whatever, if that's not clear enough or doesn't like fit, exactly what you're trying to make, feel free to just send me a message and I can try to assist further with like something more specific than just that, but hopefully that helps. All right, trying to get the dome piece on here. Here we go. So now our battery died. Sorry about that. Give me a second. Battery swap. And we are 9:23. All right. Hopefully you guys can't hear Aerosmith playing in the background because right outside the door, right outside that door is the packing station here, and they're suddenly blasting Aerosmith. I don't know why, but hopefully it's not coming through and I don't get a copyright strike or something on this video. Shouldn't be audible, I would imagine. Oh, so this is it for the torso. Now we're on to there we go. They're on to like the shoulder and scope parts of the Scopedog. So let's see. All right. You don't hear it? Okay, good. Good day, mate. Yes. All right. As we were saying on here. This shoulder part always kind of throws me for a loop because I always forget like how it goes together. But it's very ingenious, the shoulder construction for this, and I managed to mess it up there. Put that part on wrong. It's not going to be an easy one to get out of there now. No, maybe not that bad. Okay. So try that again. I had that going the wrong direction. That goes there. There we go. All right. Like I said, this construction of this part is just really unique. Let me actually just show you nice and close up. So you have this peg part that you have to put into this half, and you have this part you put on there. This is what's actually going to be the connection piece, and you have to kind of rotate that to the side so that it's kind of inside there. And then close this up like that so that it makes this part, which is just kind of like floating inside there, the connection part to the actual body. Like that. So, yeah, it's kind of unique. And then these parts here, something else kind of interesting about the construction of this, I'll show you. You can see inside this little square here is just a hard point. You can see that little notch right there. There's on the parts that go in to plug that, it's just a little square like cover part. You can see there's a corresponding little notch there. like that, and they're kind of meant to line up. There's not really any reason for that, because if you go here, like on the back, this one, same kind of just square cover piece to cover up a hard point there, but it has like 2 notches on it, so it like seems like it would be different, but as far as I can tell, there's like nothing actually different about it. So I don't know, but they're very specific about which of those parts goes where. There just doesn't seem to be any reason for that. We have clear parts for the lenses, but as per usual, I'm going to leave those off for the time being. It's actually, yeah, it's like a few different clear parts. There's here, I'll just show this to you guys here. We've got 2 sets of the clear parts, so you could go all green or all orange if you wanted for these. You're supposed to use like a mix of them. There's 2 clear parts that go in here on the front for those 2 lenses, and for that smaller tiny little lens there, you actually put the clear part in from the back, so you'll have like full clear lens parts there for all those, which is really cool. That's nice. Okay, need to pick up a tank Nachin with cat ears. Yeah, that one, that's the kind of deluxe one or whatever, right? Let's see. Got that here. Just a second. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, for this part here, this part of course rotates, but like the part behind that doesn't rotate, it stays fixed in place. Unfortunately, the only thing is that this doesn't slide back and forth on that like track there. It's just plugged in straight onto there, so unfortunately you can't rotate this side to side. I don't know how difficult that would be to modify. I think it would be pretty straightforward to modify that, and maybe I can work on that in a future video just to show you guys how you might be able to do that if you're interested, but I think it would be pretty easy to do. Essentially, especially if you're planning on just gluing that in place. I mean, it's just a matter of just gluing this on in a different position. So that would be easy enough to do. Let's see. All right, so we've got our antenna here. This side. Oh, I guess that's supposed to go on here first. Here. Okay. Got that, and then this attaches onto here. And okay, these parts are actually for like the waist section. So we'll get to that in just a second. So our next part, actually, where is that? Oh, this part. Our tail part here, like that. So this also doesn't really move like up and down, really. It's just kind of stuck in that position there, like that. Okay. Last section here then. These ones fortunately have a tiny little L and R on them. You can see that tiny little R letting you know this is for the right side. That's helpful. That goes in the right side in there, and this one has a little L on it to go in the left side. There we go. In there like that. All right. Okay, and this one here. All right, so as we're wrapping this up, I'll just remind you guys two things. Number one, if you haven't seen about the new contest, you can check out that video. I had a video out 2 days ago announcing the new contest, which is a summer themed contest. So I've gotten a number of different entry emails for that already, but if you guys missed it, check it out. Like I said, just announced it a couple days ago, so you're not at all late by any means to get started on that. And I would recommend you guys to enter. It should be fun. Should see a lot of very cool summer themed builds from that. And that's backwards. Other than that, also we'll have another live stream shortly after this one. So stay tuned, stick around if you want to check out that live stream. These parts, I guess, are not going to be used. Oh yeah, there they go here. I thought I missed something. Let's go in the back. I missed that step right there. Our hip section on here. Tail goes in the back right there. This little part, I'm kind of waiting put that on because it's a fragile little piece, so I was waiting till I got kind of other stuff attached onto there before I stuck this on, because I was worried about breaking that while moving things around. It has happened before, not with this kit fortunately, but let's also swap out the hand part here for weapon holding hand, just so you guys can see that with our rifle. And yeah, kind of a shame that we didn't get more weapon options included with this set, but I wonder if like the HG weapons from the HG kit from Bandai would be compatible with this. I'll try it out because they seem pretty similar in size, it looks like. But there's our kit. Love the Nachin kit. Both versions, both the smaller Kabiko version is great just for its like little size, but the this Kotobukiya version is great as well. So super cool little kit. Love it. Here in the Scopedog version, love little added parts for making the Scopedog version. Really kind of changes the design quite a bit. It's like still recognizable as the Nachin, but definitely has a different look to it with those Scopedog parts on it. Really cool, actually. And yeah, there is the purple version also available. So if you wanted the Melchia's Army version, didn't want to have to just repaint this one, I guess, because the kit is exactly the same. It's just molded in different colors. That Scopedog goggles can slide up or down. No, yeah, so they don't. It doesn't move up and down or slide side to side. Just rotates. That's all. So yeah, kind of a shame, but as I said, sliding side to side would be a pretty easy modification to make, especially if you just wanted it to be in a fixed pose. Basically, you can just glue it in place in a different spot there. Moving up and down might be a little bit more of a challenge because you're basically having to move around the shape here, and it's just kind of, this part is kind of made to fit this particular position on that shape there. But I mean, otherwise, yeah, very, very cool. And then you have all the hard points everywhere. So if you wanted to add there like missile pods or something else, whatever, there's lots of stuff you could add to it. So awesome stuff. Very cool. So that's it for this live stream, guys. Like I said, stick around in about hour, a little over an hour, I'll be going live again with my good buddy Ryan, and we'll be taking a look at some cool stuff on Twitter. So till then, guys, take it easy. I'm gonna work on some other stuff in between. Like I said, it's a busy day here. Got a lot of stuff that I'm working on, but I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out for this live stream build this morning, and stick around as I'll see you again very soon. All right. Okay. Later.